हेलो। ये तो माझं इथे व्हॉट्सअपला कनेक्ट नाही होत आहे. कळत नसतोय.
नहीं मैं वही 1 2 3 गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीबॉडी
Hello. Am I audible? Hello. Hello. Uh, am I audible?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, is my voice very clear, sir? ओ आपका इको बहुत आ रहा है दो डिवाइस से मेरा एक इसी बंद हो गया मैं उधर ही आ रहा हूँ किधर
What's up? Awesome. आपण मी गावात मारलो चालेल.
Good morning, all. We're waiting for principal, sir. Rawat, madam. Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all. We are waiting just for our principal, sir, Arvind Dubare, sir. He is busy with some meeting due to some emergency. So please welcome everyone on Google Meet as well as on YouTube. We'll be starting within a short while. Sorry for the delay.
Hello. Extremely sorry for the delay, but there is some emergency functioning of the management. So, with the permission of the principal, Dr. Arvind Dubale, we are starting the event. Good morning to one and all present on this online platform of Google Meet and YouTube Live. Myself, Professor Piyush Rana, presenting a webinar today, starting with a webinar on budget 22-23. Henry Ford says, as we advance in life, we learn the limits of our abilities. With this reference to understand our limits in financial or economics aspects, we prepare budget of our spendings based on the income that we earned. Recently, our country have presented the budget of our nation for the year 22-23 with different aspects. And based on that, we are having a webinar organized by our college in association with GG College and Padma Shri Bhausaheb Vartak College, Virar. So our students will be presenting the papers. Our guest, Dr. Vilas Kaikar sir from CHM College, the expert, he will be presenting his view. While we start with the program and go ahead, Principal sir is unavailable at present, but currently, Vice Principal Arvind Sherke sir, Dr. Sherke sir, he will be presenting the inaugural address of the event. So, sir, please proceed with the event.
Good morning to all. I welcome all of you in this webinar, Union Budget 2022-23, a glance. On behalf of Vidyavardhini's College, Annasaheb Vartak College, and in collaboration with GG College, this webinar is organized. And on behalf of management, on behalf of our principal, I welcome all of you. I welcome our honorable speaker, Dr. Vilas Gaikar. All of you are interested in hearing his speech on the Union Budget 2023 at glance. The speaker and our honorable speaker Vilas Gaikar sir is from CHM College, and he is a well-known personality from the economics, and definitely all of you will be getting benefited from his speech. Without taking much time, I will hand over to it, our Piyush Rana sir, and all the best for this today's webinar. And I announce that today's webinar is inaugurated. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for your valuable guidance. Now I request GG College Principal, Dr. Somnath Vibhude sir, please give your best wishes for the webinar.
Thank you, Professor Piyush. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. At the outset, I would like to congratulate Annasaheb Vartak College for this initiative, where 3 colleges in the vicinity of Vasai, namely Annasaheb Vartak College, then St. Gonzalo Garcia College of Arts and Commerce, Vasai, and Bhausaheb Vartak College, Virar East. They have come together to listen to the views on Union Budget of 2022. Honorable Principal Dr. Ubade, Honorable Vice Principal Dr. Sherke sir, Head of the Department of Economics Dr. Saugao Madam, colleagues from different colleges, and dear students, hearty welcome to this webinar on Union Budget 2022. My friend Professor Vilas Gaikar is a resource person today. Sir, you are welcome, and I'm sure that your ideas and your thoughts regarding Budget 22 will definitely enlighten all the students who are patiently listening to this webinar. budget is considered as annual activity where lots of like technicalities are found, like how the revenue will be mobilized by the union government, how spending will happen, what money will go for what sector, and then various jargons of economics, like tax GDP ratio or then fiscal deficit and all other things. These things are, like sometimes so clumsy that a listener lose the interest in the budget. And then people think only like how I'm going to get and how much I will be getting from this budget. But that is a micro aspect of the budget. As a student of economics, we must perceive or we must develop the broad eye view and consider from macroeconomic aspects of the budget how the allocations made by Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman Madam for different sectors. It could be infrastructure, it could be education, it could be digital economy, or it could be healthcare. How it is going to impact the economy and economics of our country in short term, medium term, and long term. Definitely, I'm very sure that Professor Vilas will throw light on this, and it will really be enlightening lecture to all of us. I wish all the very best to Vilas sir and all the students, and once again take this opportunity to congratulate Anna Sahib Vartak College to have this joint initiative. I was speaking the other day with head of the department, Dr. Sagao Madam, and we were discussing like how collaboration is important. In the digital world today, there is a depth of distance, and definitely we can come closer on digital platforms, and we can venture further with large number of students benefited across the colleges and across the departments. Once again, thank you very much for inviting me for this inaugural session, and over to you, Mr. Piyush. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you for your valuable guidance and your words, your motivation. Yeah, it's fact that modern technology have brought us together. Being apart from each other, we are together on this online platform. Students have joined right from 10:40, 20 minutes before the timings of the webinar. So their motivation, their energy of joining and listening to the listeners is really very good. Vilas sir will be introduced very shortly. And before that, I request Dr. G.C. Saukar, Vice Principal of Vartak College and Head of Economics Department, to give the introduction of the webinar.
Thank you, Piyush sir. Thank you very much. Respected outstanding guest, Dr. Vilas B. Gaikar sir, teachers and dear students of all colleges, on behalf of our Vidyavardhini management, I welcome all of you for today's webinar 2022-23 against. This webinar is organized by our Vidyavardhini's AV College of Arts, KM College of Commerce, and ESA College of Science, Vasai Road, in association with Gonzalo Garcia College, Vasai, and Padmashri Bhavsai Vartak College. Sir, I thank Dr. Somnath Vibhute sir and Raut Madam for readily agreeing to be associated with this webinar. Sir, I hope we are going to continue this association for a long time in future, all our endeavors. As far as the budget is concerned, we all know that budget is a matter of everybody's concern. It is not only of businessmen and industrialists, it is concerned to housewives, investors, workers of all types, pensioners, students alike. So, on keeping economic survey report at the background, our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget on Tuesday, 1st Feb 2022. There were a host of measures for a number of sectors aiming at achieving a robust economic growth of 8 to 8.5% in the financial year 2022-23 at this crucial period of high and rising inflation as well as continuing COVID uncertainties. The union budget, it seeks to complement macroeconomic growth with a focus on inclusive welfare. So the budget aims to give a strong foundation to push the Indian economy towards Amrit Kal for the next 25 years, from today at 75 years to India at 100. So budget 2022, it has 4 areas as a pillars. The one is Prime Minister Gati Shakti, then inclusive development, productivity investment, energy transition and climate action, as well financing of investment. So under these broad areas, various activities are going to be carried out in the coming financial year. Some of important are Prime Minister Gati Shakti Master Plan to cover 2,000 kilometers of railway network, 400 new generation Vande Bharat trains, 5G spectrum, incentive towards solar equipment manufacturing, digital university, and expanding the program of One Class One TV channel, national digital health ecosystem, and the role of NABARD, facilitating the finance for startups in agriculture and rural enterprises, then pushing further towards self-reliance in case of defense production under the initiative of Atmanirbhar Bharat, then many more incentives and programs for MSMEs. So, entire thing is a welcome move. In this, the government decision of opening of central bank digital currency will help in absorbing all of us ecosystem as well as financial inclusion. The government plan of infrastructure construction in Northeastern areas, states especially, is going to be a great effort in the direction of inclusive development. That is another welcome move. But however, positive changes in personal income tax structure was much awaited as a relief in this time of pandemic, which has caused heavy loss beyond calculation. Another expectation by the country was jobs, where millions of workers who lost their jobs due to the pandemic, and still job market is in very bad shape. So the regaining of lost jobs and creation of additional new jobs should have been much more focused in PLI schemes. So to throw light upon the various aspects of budget 22-23, we have wonderful guest speaker, Dr. Vilas Gaikar, and who will help us in understanding much more the different aspects of budget. Sir, it's an honor, it's a great honor to all of us here to have with us. I hope we all are going to be enriched with your address. Thank you, sir. Thank you being with us. So I hand over to Professor Piyush Rana and request to continue the program. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, madam, for your valuable guidance. Your words were really in detail. You have covered all the aspects of the budget. I also welcome our principal, Dr. Arvind Dubale, sir. Sir, your few words for guiding and motivating us.
Thank you, Piyush. Good morning. Namaste. I heartily welcome one and all present here. I'm extremely sorry due to some urgent meeting. I am a little bit late. A warm welcome to our eminent guest speaker, Dr. Vilas Gaikar. He's my friend, even my brother friend. Okay, and he's a vice principal of CHM College. Sir, really, this is our honor. Today you are with us. Then I'm welcoming our friend, Dr. Somnath Vibhute. He is a principal of our GG College, well-known college in the Vasai. And of course, I'm welcoming in charge principal of Padma Shri Bhausai Vartak College, Sarika Raut madam. She is very soon she'll join. I got just now message from her. It's honor to have today we have you all people with us. Then I'm welcoming our of course Dr. Anil Shirke. He also very soon he'll join. He's a vice principal of our Vartak College. Then of course our webinar convener Dr. Janki Sauga ma'am, and our 12 players. Just now we heard the speech about the cricket match. So therefore, our 12 players of organizing committee. But I'll not say only 12 players. I have to take each and everybody's name.
Hello. Am I audible? Hello. Thanks a lot, Ubali sir.
Yes, now you are
Yes, you
audible.
are audible.
Yeah. Before listening to Gaika sir, students will be presenting their paper, and students watching on YouTube, you are requested to ask your questions that will be answered at the end after Gaika sir's speech. So first presenter is Amit Chauhan from MA Part 2 Economics. His topic is Budget 22-23 Education in Digital World. Amit Chauhan, you can start with your paper. Amit Chauhan, please unmute yourself and start with your presentation.
Yes, sir. Good morning to everyone. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, Amit.
Good morning. Good morning to the Honorable Speaker, Principal of respective colleges and all the teachers. First of all, I would like to thank our Principal and the Department of Economics to give me the opportunity to talk on my views in front of everyone. Myself, Chauhan Amit Bansilal, from the Department of Economics, MA Part 2. My topic is education in a digital world. As we all know, this webinar is going on digitally. And as Somnath sir told just a while, that digital means reducing gap between each other. In this pandemic, it is difficult to gather and have a seminar. So we are having a webinar. So digitally, education department has also changes. Now, as we all know, the nation is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, that is 75 years of independence. As in the outbreak of COVID and 3 waves of it, it was a very difficult task for a nation to stand tall and fight against all the challenges we are facing. But India and we, the citizens of India, had fought very hard against it, and still we are standing against it. As now we are moving forward, growth is we are advancing in all sectors. Growth is there, prominent growth is there. And now, as we can see, from Amrit Mahotsav, we are going to Amrit Kal. That means focusing on the 100 years of independence. But still, it is a long way. 25 years, there is still 25 years. Coming on back to this year's budget. The budget seeks foundation and give a blueprint to the economy over the Amrit Kal for the next 25 years. We are planning for the Amrit Kal, that is India, how India will look after 100 years. And we all know after 100 years, there are so many plans, zero carbon emission, using of renewable resources. And from that, in this budget, the main important thing was PM Gati Shakti. It is a transformative approach for the economic growth and sustainable development. The PM Gati Shakti is driven by 7 engines, that is road, railway, airports, mass transport, waterways, and logistic infrastructure. These all several engines will put forward in the economy in a unison. These engines are supported by the complementary role of energy transmission, IT communication, work water sewage, and social infrastructure. Now, as we are facing pandemic from last 2 years, the whole nation was shut down. The whole country was shut down. India was heavily affected by it because we are having a population more than 135 crores. So for controlling a nation, having population more than 135 crore is not an easy task. But we, the citizen of India, the government of India has successfully fought against it. We have almost restricted the COVID as we fought against 3 waves, but we are still surviving because because of the because of our COVID warriors, police force, task force, and the responsible citizens of India. The whole nation, the whole world was shut down due to COVID. Post lockdown or post COVID session, it was a most difficult phase because having a lockdown is not a easy task. And post COVID, it is one of the most worst phase of for any country for the whole world because having a lockdown and after resuming back, it is not it is not easy to have a normal back life as we are still struggling to have our life in a normal way. Hello. Okay. Slowly things were getting back on track. And education department is still affected by it. As we all know, education department is still affected by it. Because the question is about safety of the student and their life. And because children are the future of this nation. So here comes the digital. Here digital enters in the education system because education is as far important for everyone. So education has entered in the digital world and education sector enter the technology of learning. And as we this is also seen in the Union Budget 2022 and 23. As we all know, school colleges are starting slowly. Before that, it was all online mode and offline mode. So looking at that all aspects, the government of India has allotted rupees 1.4 lakh crore for the education sector, which is 15.6% higher than last year's budget. Taking all the serious notes on the education disruption due to COVID and pandemic, the PM scheme of eVidya has increased its 12 channels from 200 channels. The education program Samagra Shiksha, which was launched 2 years back, but this year it's taken its full force. And in this financial year, it's got an immense increase in the budget. That is rupees 37,383 crore, which is 20% more than the last year's budget, which was 31,050 crore. So all this money which is introduced in the budget, the money will be used to help children get back to school. Because most of the children, the interest of students, the children, they have lost their interest in teaching. So all these programs and scheme will be introduced to get children help back to get school. This money will also use to train teachers and support them. Many money will be spent on salaries and administration expenses and analysis. The aim of the Samagra Shiksha program is to focus on the learning of language, math, and for the training of teachers. There were some other key features of the budget that was skill development, developing skill of rural areas, semi-urban areas, universalization of quality of education. The main aim is to develop the quality of education, to give the high standard quality of education to our citizens, the students, and the digital university. So here I will conclude my paper and looking at the overall budget for the education sector, the nation is set to digitally improve the quality of education and following the motive education for all by every means. Every means means if there is, we are not hoping of another pandemic, but in case of future, if you are having any kind of pandemic or any kind of problem, the education will not stop because the country, India, has entered in the digital world. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, am I audible? Yeah. Amit, very well said. It's a request to the students that please limit yourself to 2 or 3 minutes so that we get time to hear Dr. Vilas Gaikar sir. Then next, again from MA Economics Part 2, Deblina Chakraborty, and her topic is Budget 22-23 and Agriculture Sector. Deblina, please unmute yourself and present your paper in short.
Yes, sir. My topic is budget and digital economy only, not the agriculture sector. Am I audible?
Yes, continue, Deblina.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, all present here. I am Deblina Chakraborty, a student of MA in Economics final year. I would like to thank the management, respected principal sir, and vice principal ma'am, and the organizing committee for giving me the opportunity to present my views on the topic Budget 2022 to 23 and digital economy. So let us begin my paper. I would like to start my paper by saying that the Union Budget 2022-23 took giant leaps and gave the nation the much needed push to boost the digital economy. This move by the Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is lauded by institutions working in the BFSI and fintech sector and also by the public. From setting up 75 digital banking units in 75 districts to proposing a digital university, the annual financial statement has digital written all over it. Besides this, the government has also proposed digitization of land records and Destack e-portal for the skill development of the youth, enabling India towards an efficient and paperless economy. While reading the visions of the government, the finance minister read promoting digital economy and fintech, technology enabled development, energy transition, and climate action. This brought forth the objective of the government to make India a digital powerhouse. After presenting the vision of the government, the finance minister mentioned the word digital more than 30 times in her budget speech. She proposed a digital university, a central bank digital currency, CBDC, and a national digital health mission, among other steps. India took its first step towards digitization by upgrading its banking system to digital in late 1999 and early 2000. Private banks were the first to adapt to this new way of banking, and slowly the others followed. The next major boost came in the form of payment gateways and e-wallets. As small businesses needed a fast and secure payment gateway, MobiKwik, FreeCharge, Paytm, Razorpay, InstaMojo, etc. came to existence, solving end-to-end transaction problems. Initially, the digital penetration of these platforms were limited to Tier 1 cities due to the limited reach of the technological infrastructure and lack of financial literacy. The demonetization forced people to adopt the new way of transaction, boosting the user base of these fintech companies, enabling them to expand and reach to the other parts of the nation. The following years saw influx of huge FDI in the fintech space, improving the competitiveness of the existing players. Google, Beam, PhonePe, Paytm emerged as the top players to carry forward the digital vision of the country. According to Akash Sinha, CEO and co-founder, Cash-Free Payments, the Budget 2022 shows the digital-first approach of the government. He said, Budget 2022 is a reflection of consumers' trust in digital-first approach to banking and finance. Economic Survey 2022 highlighted that UPI is currently the single most extensive retail payment system by volume, reiterating its wide acceptance. This has contributed immensely towards driving digital transformation in the country. Additionally, the idea of setting up digital banking units in multiple districts will help in the democratization of the financial services by increasing the reach in rural and semi-urban geographies. He continued the launch of digital currency by RBI in both encouraging and critical in empowering the digital native youth to take a transformational leap from the conventional currency tools We have witnessed an increasing use of blockchain technology to simplify and secure the consumer's journey, and this push was required to encourage innovation in this domain. Fintechs and startups must help stakeholders establish connections with remote locations and promote value-added services to the unserved and unbanked segments. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Sabrina, to throw light on the novel step towards India's digital economy. Now comes Astha Pandey from SYBA, and her topic is Budget 22-23 and Agricultural Sector. Astha Pandey, please unmute yourself and present your paper in short.
Okay. Am I audible? Yes. Okay. So good morning,
Yes.
one and all present here. Myself,
Yes.
Astha Pandey. Yes. Myself, Astha Pandey. I'm a BA student. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak about Union Budget 2022 on agricultural sector. Despite the unprecedented global pandemic, India, as a part of its economic recovery, was able to successfully meet the increased global demands in the second half of 2020. The Indian agricultural sector has managed to remain robust even the amidst of the uncertainties of the pandemic. Keeping in mind that agricultural sector is a fundamental part of India's economic recovery and a crucial sector of the Indian economy, the Union Budget 2022 indicates that government's resolve is to boost to the sector. The government looks agriculture as a growth pillar of inclusive development. In the current scenario, where the country is taking all possible measures to deal with the COVID-19 situation, the government has announced significant measures for the agricultural sector that will pave the way for the farmers for their economic revival. The government will provide 2.37 lakh crores as direct payments of Mspe to the farmers' accounts. In addition to this, the procurement of Rabi 2021 and paddy in Kharif 2021 to 2022 will cover 1208 metric tons of the wheat and paddy. The government will also implement Ken Betwa, which will provide irrigation to the farmers worth of 44,605 lakh crores. Not just irrigation, it will also provide facilities like farming, livelihood, etc. to the farmers and the local population. For some time in India is focusing on chemical-free agriculture. So the government is all set to focus on chemical-free agriculture throughout the country. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Astha. Viewers, please don't forget to ask questions if you have any. Your questions will be discussed at the end. Further, we have Siddhi Bhosle from SYBCom, and she will be throwing light on Budget 22-23 infrastructure. Siddhi Bhosle, please unmute yourself and present towards the next.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Siddhi Bhosle. I am in second year pursuing BCom from Ropeway College, Vasai. Today I am going to present a paper titled Union Budget for the year 2022-23 and Infrastructure. Friends, what is Union Budget? Union Budget is the annual financial report of India, an estimate of income and expenditure of the government on a periodical basis. On the first day of February 2022, our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget for the year 2022-23. Friends, infrastructure has emerged as the top priority in Budget 2022. To ensure growth and development, this infrastructural development government named and prepared PM Gati Shakti Plan. Finance Minister has announced sharp jump of 35.4% in capital expenditure to fund various infrastructure projects. This PM Gati Shakti Master Plan is driven by 7 engines: road, railway, waterways, airport, port, mass transport, and logistic infrastructure. Here are some infrastructure projects that government will undertake under this PM Gati Shakti Master Plan. First is National Master Plan aimed at world-class modern infrastructure and logistics synergy. Second, formulation of master plans for expressways completing 25,000 kilometer national highway in 2022 and 23. Unified logistic interface platform allowing data exchange among all mode operators. It helps to efficient movement of goods through several modes, also reduce cost and time. Fourth, open source mobility stack for seamless travel of passengers. This will help to passengers' comfort. Fifth is four modular multi-modal logistic park through PPP to be awarded in 2022 and 23. It will improve international competitiveness, also provide real-time information to all stakeholders. Six, integration of postal and railway network facilitating parcel movement. This is for small farmers and small medium enterprises. Seventh is one station, one product. This concept will help local businesses and supply chain. 8. Extending coverage under Kavach. It is a technology for safety. It covers 2,000 kilometers of network. 9. 400 new generation Vande Bharat trains. 10th. Multimodal connectivity between mass urban transport and railway stations. 11. National Ropeway Development Plan as sustained alternative to conventional routes. It is for hilly areas as it is difficult to build roads. 12. Capacity building for infrastructure projects. This is for skill upgradation of central, state, and their agencies. Friends, PM Gati Shakti will boost infrastructure development powered by clean energy and Sabka Prayas. This is Siddhi Bhosle signing off for today. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thanks a lot, Siddhi. Very well said. That hope we develop in every sector of infrastructure, flyover ho, highway ho, kuch bhi ho. Next comes Namita from SYBBI, and again she is on infrastructure. She is on education sector. Namita, please unmute yourself and present your paper in short. Namita Kharat, please unmute yourself. Yeah, Namita.
Good morning to everyone and all. My name is Namita Kharat. I am student of BBI. Yes. Yes. I am audible. 1 second, sir. Okay. One- So 1 second.
Yeah, okay. Take your time.
Hello, sir. I am audible. No response. Responding. Okay, sir. Good morning to one and all. My name is Namita Kharat. I am students of BBI students. I am presenting a research paper on budget 2022-23 in education sector. A digital university, the education would be on digital mode of learning to the learning loss caused by the pandemic, the COVID-19 situation. The pandemic and its impact on mostly these are children in government school. We recognize the need to impart supplementary teaching and to build a mechanism for education delivery. For this purpose, one class, one TV channel program of PME Vidya will be expanded from 12 to 100 TV channels. This will enable all states to provide supplementary education in regional language of class 1 to 12. Innovative such as setting up of digital university to be built on a hub and spoke model. 75 skills E-labels for a assimilated learning environment in 2022-23 to promoted curricular thinking skill and to give a space of creativity. For teachers, high quality e-contacts in all spoken language will be developed for delivery, internet, mobile phone, TV and radio through digital teacher with digital tools of teaching facility. The India developing specified knowledge in urban planning and design and to deliver certified training in this area. Up to 5 existing academics institution in different region will be designed as center of exchange. AICTE will take a lead to improve syllabus quality and access of urban planning course in other institutions. The Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan has allotted rupees 3 crore 7 lakh 38,336 rupees. All over, the conclusion is education make you a better person and teaches you various skills. It enhances your intelligence and ability to make a rational decision. It enhances the individual growth of a person. Education also improve the economic growth of country. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Namita. Before Sanisha, our guest Gaikar sir wants to go for an emergency meeting in his college. So let us take a small introduction of him. I request Professor Ms. Devika Gavan to introduce our guest. Devika madam.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I feel privileged to welcome everyone. Before taking a pleasure of introducing the guest speaker, I would like to express my gratitude towards all our dignitaries and entire planning team for this webinar. Brief introduction about our speaker. Sir Gaikar sir is the Vice Principal and Associate Professor of Srimati CHM College, Ulhasnagar, Thane. Educational background of Sir. Sir is graduated in Economics from Birla College, Kalyan. He has also pursued MA in Economics as well as MA in Political Science subject. He has pursued his MPhil in Economics with first class. He is qualified. He has qualified his NET exam. He has also pursued a PhD degree in economics. He is also graduated in law and is pursuing his master's in law. Sir has worked as a visiting faculty in various colleges. Sir is appointed as a member of Board of Studies in Economics for Mumbai University. Sir has also served as a chairperson, examiner, moderator, and paper setter for UG and PG level for economic subject, Mumbai University. He was a resource person for 10 days FDP program organized by Sidnam College, Mumbai. He is also working as an editor, reviewer, advisory editor, honorary peer reviewer, and editorial board member for international journals. He has been called by various colleges as a guest lecturer, guest speaker, resource person to deliver lectures on various topics. He has participated in various national and international seminars and conferences. Sir has also presented research papers on various topics in national and international conferences and seminars. Sir has also contributed his writing for the books of business economics for BCom, BBI, BFF course through various publications. Sir is a research supervisor, PhD guide in economics for Mumbai University and JJT University, Rajasthan. Sir has visited various international universities such as Harvard University, Boston University, University of London, Cambridge University. Sir has also been granted with 5 patents under his name. There are 3 students registered for PhD degree under the guidance of Sir. Achievements and awards received by the Sir. Sir has received Shiksha Ratna Puraskar by IIFS New Delhi. Sir has also received Jeevandeep Gaurav Puraskar by Arts, Commerce, Science College, Govili, Thane. Sir has also received Excellent Researcher Award by Combined Society for Educational Research and Development, Dehradun. So let's welcome Dr. Vilas Gaikar, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Devika Madam. At the outset, I would like to thank Vidyavardhini's Anna Sahib Vartak College, the management of St. Gigi College, Vasai, and Padma Shri Bahu Sahib Vartak College, Virar, as well as principals Dr. Ubale sir, Dr. Somnath Vibhute sir, the organizing team, convener of this online webinar, Dr. G.C. Shevgaon Madam, and the entire organizing team, other faculty members, dear students. We have number game, that is budget, union budget. And to understand union budget is not everybody's cup of tea. I appreciate the efforts taken by the organizing committee to present before us the research papers or the writings on union budget. The budget which was presented on February 1st, 2022. It is a pioneering budget and it will have last-longing insights for the future, that how far Indian economy will march towards excellence as far as the GDP is concerned, as far as combating over inflation is concerned, to solve the problem of unemployment and inequality is concerned, or many socio-economic issues as well. Budget is always a visionary document of any particular government, specifically a union government. Either we can take the reference of Findlay Shiraz, or we can take the reference of different Western economists, those who have propounded the idea of either public finance or the budget as well. In the words of ordinary man, the budget is a kind of complicated concept. And it is also true that out of entire population of 1.35 billion plus population, hardly fraction of people are aware, yes, budget is getting presented in the Lok Sabha. And what kind of impact would be there on Indian economy, what kind of impact would be there on the different sectors is supposed to be seen, is not supposed to be seen by the ordinary persons as well. It is only the salaried persons, it is only the taxpayers, it is only the corporate sector, or it is only the exporters and importers who used to think about whether the corporate tax is going to go down from 18% to 15%. Import duty and export duty is going to change. Or the income tax slabs, which we were expecting that at least for up to 5 lakhs rupees, there should not be any kind of tax to be imposed. Or the shifting of tax regime from old regime to the new regime as well. So budget is nothing but a kind of unsolved mystery. Mystery, why I am saying it is only because lots of macroeconomic variables, as Principal Somnath Vibhute sir has rightly said. There are lots of macroeconomic variables, those which needed to be tackled in a systematic manner as well. Whether the country will march towards excellence by achieving high growth rate, by having proper standard of living, or improvement in the standard of living, or solving the problem of balance of difficulties, or any other macroeconomic variables or aspects, which are very much essential to understand as far as budgetary part is concerned. Now, being economic students, we are having always doubt in our mind whether fiscal policy and monetary policy should go hand in hand. Either we are supposed to go on understanding that yes, monetary policy is also equally important like fiscal policy. So of course, and the recent past, it has been seen that monetary policy goes along with the fiscal policy as well. But the outcome which we are expecting within 1 year or within 2 years, we can achieve the goal of higher growth rate, enhanced GDP. As we should be proud enough that India is nothing but the world's power bank, we can say. It is only in the form of, as far as triple P, that is purchasing power parity is concerned, we are third largest economy in all over the world. And at the same time, we are marching towards excellence in different sectors as well. But whether this particular budget has really provided something for the common man, whether this particular budget has spoken about the employability of young graduates like you, those who are coming to enter into the job market or not, whether the National Sample Survey Organization's data statistics is really eye-opener to all of us, whether the new job opportunities are going to give the proper platform as far as your per capita income is concerned, or what. So in my presentation, I have brought some of the questions, and specifically I am really impressed the kind of presentation which has been done. Either it is by Debalina Chakrabarti, or it has been done by one of the student, I think Amit, and very fantabulous presentation that the data statistic is nothing but the eye-opening kind of statistics which we should have. But the concern regarding to budget, whether this particular budget will really bring out prosperity to all of us. Some of the critics are really saying that yes, this particular budget is nothing but the pandemic budget. Pandemic budget is a kind of nothing, but all the way we are not supposed to rely upon much more kind of venture activities as well. That is, in the future this will happen. This much jobs will be created, and sure shot that much jobs will be created. Inflation will be targeted, and yes, of course, we are supposed to target the rate of inflation up to this particular level. So it is again very important that the budget analysis or the understanding of budget may take some time as well. It might take a month or so, because being taxpayer, we are always worried about whether the Section 80C of Income Tax Act, or whether there will be any kind of subsidy as far as the interest rate is concerned, as far as interest payment is concerned, principal amount is concerned. At the same time, whether we are supposed to get any particular benefit as far as health insurance is concerned or health schemes are concerned. So these all are real concern as far as an ordinary person is concerned as well. I asked some of the questions to the farmers, whether this particular budget will benefit to them or what. We had also evidenced, or we have also seen the kind of agitation as far as farmers' bills were concerned. And the union government was not in a position to take back the bills, but of course it was taken back. And simultaneously, it is in the interest of farmers as well. So whether this budget will bring down the farmer suicide in India, whether this particular budget will bring prosperity to the students in the form of giving more and more employment opportunities or employability, whether higher education will be appropriately provided to the entire population, or whether the gross enrollment ratio to be improved, whether the technical and technological education will bring appropriate Make in India and Made in India, whether we are in a position to have a very improved balance of payment position in all over the world. That 1991 ka crisis we can take an example, or global economic crisis ka we can take an example, global recession ka we can take an example, wherein the role of Indian economy is supposed to be nothing but the kind of sustained kind of role. The pandemic COVID-19 since last 22 months has badly or adversely affected the entire world as well. And we are fortunate enough that in spite of having third or fourth wave, we are in a stable position as well. So we can take an example all the way. This particular stable position is because of the fiscal policy which is initiated, because of the union government has taken an appropriate step towards making available the vaccines or vaccination programs, vaccination drives, and so on. So education, agriculture, industries, services sector, infrastructure, or you can take an example of technology, or it is digital India, or it is nothing but control over inflationary pressure, per capita income, or many more indicators are available, macroeconomic indicators. When we are going to touch one indicator, the another is leaving behind as well. Now, inflation targeting is one of the goal or an important objective of nothing but the fiscal policy as well. So whether we have really targeted the inflation or not, whether the fiscal policy and monetary policy has given an appropriate combating over inflationary pressure in our country or not, and how far the rise in GDP is having an appropriate proportion with the, you may take an example of inflationary pressure or the real GDP as well. Why the per capita income of our country is comparatively low to other countries, and what kind of measures been undertaken by the government of India as well. And finance minister rightly said in her speech, okay, all the way, this budget is nothing but will give us an appropriate direction, how to sustain, how to survive at least for this year. And when the situation will be normalized, certainly we will achieve the double-digit growth rate as well. But again, to achieve the double-digit growth rate, we should have the different macroeconomic indicators in favor of economy as well. Suppose, for example, the purchasing power parity, or we can take an example of other indicators, that is like increase in per capita income. How to increase the per capita income, whether an appropriate measures been taken by the government to increase the PCI, availability of jobs or make in India. Now also you can see the Indian markets, or you can take an example of toys market is again full of the Chinese toys which we are importing from China as well. Why don't we are having supposed to have a very strong make in India policy wherein these particular products are supposed to be produced within the country, and so that we can save the money, that is rupees going in the hands of foreigners as well. The multinational companies, we should have to have an appropriate control over the earnings of multinational corporation or multinational companies as well. But we are in the globalized world as well. And then when I'm asking these particular questions, the other side also will have this the answers for these particular questions as well. So being economic student or being researcher, we should have to ask these kind of questions to all of us. We have to have the economic growth rate this particular 4%, 5%, 5.5%, 8% or 8 to 8.5%. The projected growth rate might be 9.2% as well. IMF is very much positive towards the economic growth rate of Indian economy as well. Yes, we are having potential to prove that Indian economy can grow at double-digit growth as well. But where we are lacking behind as well, and whether in this particular budget the provision is being made as well. So in the presentation, the students have already brought some of the numbers, and I have also brought the presentation, and in that particular presentation, how far the number speaks already, as I said in the introductory part. Okay, all the way, budget is nothing but all the way the number game as well. And these number games are nothing but allocation of Indian rupee. 1 rupee, for example, a rupee comes from and rupee goes to. There's nothing but the budget. Because all the way, sometime what happens when the word or term budget is supposed to be pronounced, that chartered accountants, or we may take an example of technically sound people in economics or finance or management, they used to say no. Budget means something which is out of our control as well, and we cannot have the we may take an example the complete control over what kind of policies used, and whether these particular policies are really supposed to work for real economic growth and development. So These questions may available in front of us, but how to tackle this particular question is nothing but available with the economics mind as well. So everybody should try their level best to apply economics mind as well. When budget was presented on February 1st, 2022, it was the union budget for the entire country as well. But we should also keep in our mind that the budget also we are making ourselves as well. Every month, suppose for example, I am drawing a salary of let's say rupees 50,000. So my budget is 50,000. How much revenue I'm getting is 50,000, and how much outlay, how much expenditure I'm going to make. And after making income and expenditure, whether I'm supposed to having surplus or a deficit. That is the simplest language to understand budget as well. So it's nothing. Budget means a kind of annual statement of union government that different ministries are getting allocated of some amount of rupees as well, and simultaneously whether that allocation is properly utilized. And it is nothing but the last year, present year, and the next year kind of accounts or statistics we are supposed to keep in front of us as well. The advanced countries are having their own insights for the development as well, and their budget is supposed to be nothing but a kind of very systematic and very planned budget as well. But we have a kind of the political parties which may that is suppose if one political party is getting changed, and if there is a transfer of power from one political party to another, policies used to change. Let us take an example of poverty alleviation or Garibi Hatao program. Let us take an example of any particular scheme, health related scheme, which is really benefiting or benefited to the people, has to be continued as well, irrespective of the government as well. So whether the government is the same or whether the government is changed, it should be the appropriate, the welfare. In the budgetary speech of finance minister, it has come as the welfare motto or welfare of the people as well. Now, welfare is beyond the concept of budget as well, because we cannot club together both the concepts, welfare as well as budget as well. Because when I'm talking about my salary as 50,000 rupees a month, I'll have to have present my budget as 45,000 rupees as my expenditure and 5,000 rupees as my saving. But when I'm talking about welfare, there might be possibility that beyond my income, my expenditure will be there. Like my expenditure might be 55,000 as well. Altogether, that is micro level. I gave the example of an individual, X person, Y person, or Z person. But being a bulkiest economy of the world or at the union government, it has to be cautiously taken decision whether our per capita income is going to improve by taking certain moves as well. The news channels or media was behind to the union budget. That is since last month or so, the January, as soon as the January month opened, and since January, lots of debates and discussions went on as well. Whether income tax regime will be changed, or whether the tax rate, direct taxes will be improved, or indirect taxes may be changed, or something. All these discussions were taken place as well. But simultaneously, how far these discussions been done with the farmers as well, or whether the Indian farmers or industrialists or small manufacturers or SME sector were taken into confidence. Yes, this kind of benefits or this kind of initiatives are there in the budget as well. So all the way, what government thinks at their level, government used to project in front of us as well, present in front of us as well. And again, it is nothing but for having the welfare amongst all of us as well. The entire population is supposed to be taken into consideration. Let us take an example. One more announcement has been done by the finance minister as far as the Northeastern states are concerned. That is growth and development of these particular states. Either it is Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram. These particular Northeastern states are still deprived from the mainstream as well. And if you wanted to bring at par level of like Maharashtra or Gujarat, or you may take an example of all the way Karnataka, then we need to have proper attention towards those states also. So all inclusive kind of budget and budgetary allocation or the expenditure is around 39 lakhs crores rupees as well. As I said already, it is the bulkiest budget as well. And this much allocation of money, this much allocation of funds has been available. So there might not be any kind of subsidies, there might not be any kind of benefits to be given to the taxpayers, specifically the direct taxes are concerned, income tax and all. But in front of government, the target is always to sustain the economy as well. Any particular decisions which are supposed to be taken for damaging the economy would be really problematic as well. You cannot take the venture decisions altogether as well. One or two decisions can be taken, and those decisions are supposed to be taken in a fraction of percentage of the budget as well. So all the way the predictions are varying from individual to individual. You may agree with my opinion or you may not agree with my opinion as well. But again, it is essential that whether the data statistics which is given in the budget is whether it is going to get really benefited to all of us or the entire economy is a big question. So I'm sharing the screen so that it will be better to understand. Still not able to share the screen. Piyush sir, is there any option at your end that the permission is not granted to share the screen?
Technical team. Meghna madam, please look at it.
I think I'm not able to share the screen.
Sir is not able to share the screen.
Because permission is required.
Yeah, just a second, sir. Meghna madam and Amal sir.
Or otherwise, what I can do is I'll share with you. I think I'll share with Sauga madam. Sauga madam. Just a minute.
Hello, Meghna madam. Amal sir, Meghna madam. I guess sir is not having permission to share the screen. Please allow him.
Or otherwise, I think I have shared with the principal sir, Dr. Arvind sir. If you can open it up and from your office end, if it can be opened.
Yeah, will do, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
तो सर का मैंने देखी पे एक बार
अभी important
Gaika sir, there is no problem from our behalf as such, but still you can share your presentation with Banchode sir.
Just a minute, sir. I think I forwarded it to you, or
yes, sir, you have forwarded to me.
Okay.
Yes, madam.
Will do it.
Can you open at your end, madam, please?
Yeah,
Yeah, will do.
Yes.
just give us 5 minutes. We will share.
Gaikar sir, you can also share to Bansode sir. He have shared his email
Yes,
address in the chat box.
yes. I
Okay.
have
Okay, sir.
sent it to Megha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bansude sir and Meghna, I have sent you on your WhatsApp.
Okay, ma'am, we will do it.
Yeah.
By the time sir presents his presentation, students don't forget to ask the questions. Your questions will be answered at the end of the session, and the participants will be getting the certificate link which you have to fill on later. So you'll be getting e-certificate on your registered email address. Yeah, I repeat, by the time sir presents, the viewers, if you have any question, please ask your questions on YouTube. And all the participants will be getting an e-certificate. The link for the same will be shared by Meghna Miss at the end of the webinar. So kindly wait, don't leave. Once again, extremely sorry for the delay. Some technical issues.
Gaika sir, is it visible?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, sir. It is visible now. I think Bansode sir is presenting. Sir, can you please go to next slide?
Okay, sir.
Now, in the introductory lecture, I already oriented about how far Indian economy got disrupted because of the COVID-19. And sir, can you go back? Seconds, yes. And the impact of COVID-19 on Indian, second slide, yes, next slide, yes, this one. The impact of COVID-19 on Indian economy has disrupted as far as our growth rate is concerned, the employability is concerned, or the agriculture, industry and services sector got also affected because of COVID-19 as well. But it was necessary to come out from the problem of COVID-19, and yes, of course, different initiatives taken by union as well as state government. One of the paper presenter has also rightly pointed out, yes, either COVID warriors or the kind of initiatives taken by the government led to nothing but combating over the problem of COVID-19 as well. Still, it is going on, but simultaneously we have slightly control. But here the role of Reserve Bank of India or monetary policy is essential as well. Whether the credit subsidy is to be given, whether the availability of credit to be given by changing in CRR or SLR rate, or simultaneously how far the interest rates are supposed to be kept intact or changed as well. Second, next slide, sir. Now, budget at a glance, if you can see that all the way Union Budget 22-23, and we have the receipts as well as expenditure as well. This particular slide you can easily access through the website of the Finance Ministry as well. And the Union Budget 22-23 has clearly signifies that how far we have receipts, that receipts are given as well as expenditure is also supposed to be given in an appropriate form as well. So in the year 2021, in the year 21-22, that is 2021 stands for the actuals. Then budget estimates are nothing but 21-22. RE stands for revised estimates for 21-22, and again for the year 22-23 we have the budgeted estimates as well. So huge numbers, if you can read it out, that the lakhs of crores rupees are supposed to be there as far as the government's budget is concerned as well. Next slide is. We have expenditure already, as I said, it is it is available and as 39 lakhs 44,909 lakhs crores rupees as well. Huge amount, huge kind of central government expenditure is there, and you can easily see that is there in the form of pensions, defense, major subsidies, agriculture and allied activities, the commerce and industry ministry, education, energy, finance, health, interest payment to be done, social welfare, tax administration, transportation, urban development, and if any, that is the other kind of expenses, that 1,13,301 crores rupees as well. Next is the key numbers as far as the union budget is concerned, that in the presentation also students have highlighted, and I was thinking again not to read it out those numbers because everybody is known about these particular numbers, but still the revenue receipts, the capital receipts, and the total receipts, followed by, we may take an example of total expenditure. Difference between receipts and expenditure could lead to nothing, but we may take an example of deficit. Whether it is, we may take an example of all the way deficit in a greater form or deficit we have control, specifically the fiscal deficit. One of the slide which has been brought as nothing but the fiscal deficit, the rising problem of fiscal deficit, and the difference between revenue and expenditure of union government as well. So revenue receipts, let us take an example of actual revenue receipts are for the year 2021 is 16,33,920, wherein for the year 21-22 the budget estimates are 17,88,424, wherein the revised estimates are showing revised estimates are stating that 20,78,936 lakhs crores rupees, and for budgeted estimates that is supposed to come for revenue receipts, it would be 22 lakhs 4,422 lakhs crores rupees as well. Then capital receipts also ranging from 18 lakhs to 17 lakhs crores rupees. Total receipts 35 lakhs crores rupees to 39 lakhs crores rupees as far as actual expenditure as well as the budgeted estimates. Then capital expenditure, the effective capital expenditure, the revenue deficit, and the fiscal deficit has been shown. The revenue deficit is to be read as 14 lakhs 49,599 as far as the actual for the year 2020-21, and the budget estimates as far as the revenue deficit is concerned, which is showing as 11 lakh 40,579 lakhs crores rupees. At the same time, we can take an example of all the way budgeted estimates for the year 22-23. It's showing as 9 lakhs 90,241 lakhs crores rupees as well. So these all are number games. Again, I am not going to give more focus on this particular number or by hurting this particular number, but tentatively we can say, hey, these numbers will speak only and only after the goals of budget is supposed to be achieved, as far as the infrastructural development is concerned, or as far as real economic growth is concerned as well, or GDP growth is concerned. So next, please. You can see the government's revenue and expenditure, which is already shown in numbers. Now these numbers are reflecting in the form of rupee. You can see over here that 1 rupee coin or 1 rupee currency note, wherein it has been shown as rupee comes from which sources rupee comes and at what percentage. So percentage is given in the form of paise. So 35 paise will come out of 1 rupee from borrowings and other liabilities. From corporation tax, around 15 paisa is supposed to be collected, or rupee will come in the form of 15 paisa. From income tax, 15 paisa to be collected. Now paisa here is reflecting as nothing but representation of 1 lakh rupees. sorry, 1 rupee as well. Followed by from the customs duties 5 paisa to be collected, union excise duties 7 paisa, goods and services tax GST 16 paisa, non-tax revenue 5 paisa, non-debt capital receipts 2 paisa, and altogether when we have collected 1 rupee from all these particular sources, where this particular rupee will go as well. You will see the highest number as borrowings and other liabilities as rupee comes from 35 paisa. And here you can see as far as the interest payment, which is 20 paisa, which is going, rupee goes to. So maximum amount goes to nothing but interest payment as well. So we have centrally sponsored schemes, 9 paisa will go. Central sector schemes 15 paisa, interest payment 20 paisa, again defense equipments or defense services 8 paisa, subsidies again 8 paisa, then finance commission and other transfers 10 paisa for implementing different schemes, state share of taxes and duties 17 paisa, that might be in the form of GST and so on. The pensions of the union government is supposed to be measured in the form of 4 paisa, and other expenditure that is been given as 9 paisa. So here this particular slide is clearly indicating from where rupee comes, that is from where the money will come and where the money will go as well. So next slide please. Now this is given in the form of the pie diagram or the pie chart as well. The same percentage which is we have already discussed. Next please. Again, this is the same slide which is given in the form of pie chart, and that pie chart is clearly indicating where the maximum money will go. That is 20 paisa interest payment it will go. Next please. Now budget profile, that all the way the small numbers are available, whether the GST will go, other foreign direct investment, pensions, revenue receipts and expenditures and so on. Next please. There are different initiatives taken in the budget, and one of the major initiative taken by the finance minister, that is the union government, is nothing but all inclusive welfare focus for the year 22-23, and through which it is nothing but 3.8 crore households under Har Ghar Nal Se Jal, these kind of schemes as well, 80 lakhs households under PM Awas Yojana as well. Then there will be development or develop the lagging blocks under the aspirational blocks program. There will be develop villages on northern borders under vibrant village program as well, already as I spoken. Followed by digital banking by all post offices as well. So all the way post offices will work as a bank as well, that is collection of deposits and nothing but lending the money as well. But how far it will work? Followed by this, 75 digital banking units in 75 districts by scheduled commercial banks will initiate for the digital banking units as well. Next please. Now the second or third slide we have already spoken about how far the government revenue and government expenditure is there, or public revenue and public expenditure. That tends to indicate nothing but the deficit as well. So fiscal deficit, revenue deficit and primary deficits been given as well, followed by the effective revenue deficit as well. And this particular chart is clearly indicating, the graph is clearly indicating how far in the year 2021, that is actual fiscal deficit, you can see it is 9.2% as well. The budgeted estimates shows it is 21-22, it is 6.8 as well. Then revised estimates 21-22, it is 6.9%. And budgeted estimates, that is government is thinking that the fiscal deficit to be brought down to 6.4% as well to our GDP as well. Followed by revenue deficit also, it is starting from 7.3 as far as 2021 actual amount is concerned. 21-22 budgeted amount is 5.1%. 21-22 revised estimates, it is showing as 4.7%. And simultaneously we may take an example of how far it will go down to 3.8% for the year 22-23 as well. So by taking different initiatives, it might possible that revenue deficit could be brought down from 7.3% to 3.8% as well. Or the primary deficit, which is above 5.8%, which is 5.8% to be brought down. For budgeted estimates, it is 3.1%. For the revised estimates, it should be it will be 3.3%. And budgeted estimates for the year 22-23, it will be again brought down to 2.6% as well. So different fiscals and monetary measures to be undertaken by the fiscal and monetary authorities, that is the Reserve Bank of India as well as the Union government, and that to bring down the fiscal deficit, the revenue deficit, as well as the primary deficit as well. While teaching to TY-BA or TY-BCom economics or postgraduate also, we used to teach them the FRBM, that is Fiscal Responsibility Budget Management. That is by bringing down the fiscal deficit progressively from 5% to 4%, up to 3%, 2%, and it should brought down to 0%, or there should not be any kind of deficit, and so on. We should have surplus as far as the budgetary allocation is concerned. Next, please. Trends in tax receipts as well. So whether the gross tax receipts will be increasing, that is, we may take an example of direct taxes as well as the indirect taxes as well. The trends in direct and indirect taxes been given in percentage of GDP as well, and that is for the year 2021 and the budgeted estimates for the year 22-23 as well. Again, these all number games we should have to keep in our mind whether the gross tax receipts are parallel. That is, suppose for example 2021 it was 10.3%. Budgeted estimates it had shown as 9.9%. Revised estimates it is showing as 2021-22 as 10.8%, and for the next year it might brought down from 10.8% to 10.7% as well. Next, please. Resources transferred to the states and union territories as well. So 2021 में 13.20 lakhs crores rupees. Budget estimates are 13.89 lakhs crores rupees. Revised estimates are showing 16.03 lakhs crores rupees. And for the year 2022-23, at the end of this particular year, we might have 16.12 as budgeted estimates to 16.12 lakhs crores rupees as well. Next is. Now, as we have seen traditionally that railway budget was supposed to be presented separately than that of the union budget as well. But simultaneously, since last few years, the tradition has been broken, and we have altogether railway budget along with the union budget as well. So here we have railway budget as at a glance, because Indian railways are having strong potential to develop a very strong transportation corridor, giving an employment opportunities and reducing the cost of transportation as well. And the proper development of railway corridor or railway budget could lead to nothing but creating more employment opportunities and so on. So excess we can see that actuals for the year 2021, 2,547.48 lakhs crores rupees. We may take an example of budgeted estimates for the year 21-22 as 6,561 lakhs crores rupees. Followed by it is revised estimates are nothing but 875 crores rupees as well, and budgeted estimate shows 5,360 crores rupees as well. I think I use the term as lakhs crores rupees for 2,547. It is not lakhs crores rupees, it is rupees crores as well. That is 2,547.48 crores rupees. Then the working result also we have in the slide, and operating ratio also we have. Then railway earnings, the last part of this particular slide states how far the railway earnings are available, whether it has increased or whether it has decreased, or how far we are expecting from the railways to grow very fast. Next is Parvatmala or National Ropeway program as well. When the live budget presentation was going on, it was again appreciation was done for this particular initiative, that Parvatmala or National Ropeway program. So either it is giving boost to the kind of tourism development in India, or whether it is really giving proper connectivity to the different, we may take an example of mountaineering areas. Herein we have the contract for 8 ropeway project for length of 60 kilometers to be awarded in the year 22-23. with an objective of sustainable alternative to conventional roads, simultaneously to improve the connectivity and convenience for commuters, then cover the congested urban areas wherein the traffic congestion is one of the problem, and to promote the tourism, as I already said in the beginning of this particular slide, there might be promotion to be given to the tourism as well, and we can have an appropriate earning as well as tax earning might be increased and employment opportunities. Next, please. Now we have to be very much serious or very much cautious about the health initiatives taken by Union government through the budget as well. And simultaneously, the health outlay for the year 22-23, that is the budgeted in the form of crores rupees, that is 20,263 crores rupees. We may take an example of all the way Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0 program. Then PM Poshan Yojana 10,234 crores rupees. Then Mission Vatsalya program 1,442 crores rupees. Then Mission Shakti program, it is 3,184 crores rupees are supposed to be allocated through the budget as well. It is good initiative that we are going to strengthen Anganwadis as well. And I have seen last two budgets as well. The Anganwadis are going to get prioritized by this particular government because the child education or early life education is essential because it lays down the foundation for the later stages of education as well. So if our base is very much strong, if our understanding is very appropriate, if we are psychologically sound, it might possible that in the later part also we can grow in an appropriate manner. So health also another slide which is the part of that. It is the National Digital Health Ecosystem will be rolled out, followed by National Telemental Health Program will be launched for quality counseling because because nowadays all of us are facing the acute problem of mental health as well. Mental illness as well. Funnily, we used to tell, hey, you are mental or what? But nowadays, due to this particular pandemic situation, due to this globalized age, we are facing lots of problems regarding to health as well. That is not only the physical health problem, but also the mental health related issues as well. Means, I seems to be very sound as far as my health is concerned, physical health is concerned, but I may not be very sound as far as my mental health is concerned. Or somebody who is seems to be a very good intellectual as well, but that intellectuality is supposed to be reflected. Or we may take an example of all the way his mental health should be sound as well. Integrated architecture, that is Mission Shakti. In the early presentation also one of the student has presented the Mission Shakti, Mission Vatsalya, Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0 to be launched by the Union government, and lots of funding allocation, that 20,000 crores rupees plus is supposed to be allocated for this particular program. 2 lakhs Anganwadis to be upgraded to the Saksham Anganwadis as well. And all the way Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and all these particular schemes already were there in the previous budget as well. Next is productivity enhancement and investment as well. That telecom and networking product 528 crores rupees are supposed to be allocated for that. Large scale electronics and IT hardware, that is 5,300 crores. Pharmaceuticals also supposed to have the priority by the government in the budget, that is 1,629 crores rupees as well. So budgetary allocation. Goal of Amrit Kal. Again, I think somebody in the program itself said we are celebrating 75 years of independence, that is Amrit Mahotsav. But simultaneously, we are supposed to go to achieve the century of independence, that is 25 more years to come. And next 25 years, we should have to have very strong vision for Indian economy as well. And that strong vision is supposed to be reflected in 25 years to Amrit Mahotsav budget as well. That is, focus on growth and all-inclusive welfare. Now, everywhere the budget, the debate is going on. What exactly inclusive growth means? Whether it is only to uplift the poor, to solve the problem of inequality, or again to solve the problem of educational backwardness of certain communities or certain caste or what. but simultaneously inclusive growth is the wider term as well, which is also given in the Human Development Index as well, or Human Development Goal as well, or Millennium Development Goals as well. So here in budget also it has been discussed. So there will be focus on growth and all-inclusive welfare, followed by promoting technology-enabled development, energy transmission, and climate action as well. Whether the climate bank or carbon bank is sorry, it is a carbon bank is supposed to be created, or that carbon bank, how far it will be benefiting to the industrialist, or whether the industrialists are supposed to be penalized or imposing more amount of taxes as far as the carbon emission is concerned or not. Then the virtuous circle, starting from private investment, crowded in by public capital investment, is supposed to be also the part of nothing but the budgetary speech as well. Then four priorities were there: PM Gati Shakti, then inclusive development, financing of investment, productivity enhancement and investment, then sunrise opportunities, energy transmission, and climate action as well. Again, I'll be telling you these all terms are nothing but all the way it is not to be understood by an ordinary person, because there is vision behind to this particular goal by putting forward on paper or on table as far as the country's real economic growth and development is concerned. Next is, that is, core schemes get higher funding as well. Core schemes, like long back onwards, we had different schemes initiated. During my college days also, I had studied about these particular schemes as well. Like this Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, or it is PM Kisan Yojana, or it is Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana. I think those particular days there were IRDP, Integrated Rural Development Program, या तो EGS, Employment Guarantee Scheme, or it is Swarna Jayanti Gramin Swarojgar Yojana, Swarna Jayanti Shahri Swarojgar Yojana, FWP, Food for Work Program. These particular initiatives were there by the earlier governments as well. And it is also essential for having the parallel growth and development of rural areas as well. As all of us are aware, the Indian economy is driven by also rural economy as well, or the rural background as well. Pradhan Mantri Swasth Suraksha Yojana, that is the thousands of crores rupees of allocation is there for this particular scheme. Next please. Now you must have seen, those who have seen the live budget, that is Nirmala Sitharaman madam, that is in her speech, the productivity linked incentive in 14 sectors for achieving the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat has received excellent response, with potential to create 60 lakhs new jobs and an addition production of 30 lakhs crores during next 5 years. So I was talking about the job creation as well. So budget should have to speak about more number of job opportunities as well. But the critics are also there. When I was going through some of the budgetary speeches, I came to know that the critic states that this 60 lakhs jobs, from where it will come. Either it is in the private sector, it is in the public sector, or it is in the services sector, agriculture, or industry. In which sector? Next is very important announcement. It's been done in the union budget by the finance minister, that all the way central bank digital currency by using the blockchain management system as well. We were discussing about whether the cryptocurrencies, whether the other currencies, other virtual currencies are available in all over the world, are supposed to be marketed in the rest of the world or what. Yesterday I was reading one newspaper, and again I found one reference that Indians are having competition to become a richer person in the Asian continent as well. Now Adani's has outnumbered Ambani's in the form of becoming the rich person in the Asian continent as well. So what we can say is India is country with lots of poor people, but simultaneously we cannot say India is completely the poor nation as well, because we have the large number of we have the persons, those who are having huge amount of wealth accumulation or financial assets with them. Specifically, that amount is something around 80 billion US dollar. is what the wealth which is there with the we may take an example of Adani Group as well. And last time there was controversy. The some of the airports were given the contract for taking care of the by the Adani Group as well or Ambani Group as well. So all the way we can take an example. These particular persons are becoming more and more richer. That is good sign. But simultaneously, whether government is giving priority for uplifting the poor, for giving priority to the poor, that they should be sustained. They will be sustaining. That is, at the time of pandemic, the problem of migration was very much severe as well. The people, those who are having earning hardly in few rupees, they were forced to migrate to their countryside, or they were forced to go to their villages as well, because of non-availability of jobs, because of lockdown effect as well. So whether these particular marginalized farmers or marginalized laborers are supposed to get an appropriate platform through the budget or what? Corporation tax has been brought down from 18% to 15%. Those who are tax practitioners or chartered accountants, they may be aware about that. Okay. Big corporates are having the pressure on government. Yes, their corporate tax has to be reduced as well. And corporation tax has been reduced from 18 to 15%. But is there any particular announcement which is done for the poor, for marginalized people, in the form of stating that yes, they will have some monthly earning, they will have some, like UBS we used to discuss, we used to teach in the classroom also. Okay, all the way that universal basic income concept has to be adopted as well. Why to spend lots of money? That particular money is not appropriately reach to the ordinary person, or that is not bringing out an appropriate outcome from that particular money through different budgetary allocation. Lakhs of crores rupees been spent on that as well. So UBS has to be kind of initiatives could be involved. So central bank digital currency through blockchain is supposed to be initiated, but it is again in darkness whether it will be allowed to all of us to get operated, and simultaneously the tax which we are supposed to pay 30% tax for operating this particular digital currency initiated by Reserve Bank of India, whether it would look like INR or it would look like some other bitcoins or something, or might be there might be the bullish tendency as far as the cryptocurrency or digital currencies are concerned in the near future, or rich people may invest their money in the cryptocurrency, because crypto itself tells you no, you cannot crack that particular. You may take an example of all the way uh, uh, the uh, the kind of codes, the kind of secrets which are there in the operating of those cryptocurrencies as well. So it is good move, but whether it will be successful or not, that would be a kind of big question mark in front of us. And we are waiting, eagerly waiting whether Reserve Bank of India would really bring an appropriate blockchain management through this particular the people, those who are investing their money into some other ventures like stock market and all that, may turn towards the cryptocurrency market and so on. So it may give boost to the digital economy and so on. Next is. So next please. You can see I have brought some images of cryptocurrency. Either it is Bitcoin, or you can take an example of all the way Ethereum, or you can take an example of all the way Zcash, or you can take an different currencies. The virtual currencies are available, and those virtual currencies, we do not know where it is originated. We do not know how far it will have the fluctuations, how far it will have derivations as well. Suppose, for example, the very first coin BTC Bitcoins, the value it has been showing as 6,354 rupees is what the value for the Bitcoin as well. So if you convert it roughly around 70 rupees a dollar, so around 42 to 45,000 or around 50,000 rupees is the value for a single Bitcoin as well, isn't it? So whether we will be in a position to invest into the Bitcoin or Ethereum or something. Next is. Agriculture and food processing, that all the way the farm bills were taken back by the central government, but simultaneously there is also the kind of initiatives taken in the budget, specifically the record food grain production and enhanced procurement is to be initiated. 2.37 lakhs crores rupees direct payment of MSP, that is minimum support price, to 163 lakhs farmers. So good number of farmers are supposed to get minimum support price, because the agitation was going on for getting minimum support price as well. And still in the budget, it is the announcement is been done. So whether it is from the point of view of, we can take an example of from the point of view of the political gains or what, that we do not know. But simultaneously, farmers should get benefited as well. There is also promotion of chemical-free natural farming as well. So chemical-free natural farming, that all the way we are supposed to get very nutritious kind of food, and then our longevity can be improved as well. Then simultaneously, there is also availability of delivery of digital and high-tech services to farmers in triple P mode as well. And all the way that would lead to nothing but the upliftment of farmers' income in a very systematic manner as well. Then there is also the healthcare kind of benefit to be given to the farmers through the budget as well. Next is. Financing of investment, lots of investment opportunities been available, and reduction in gross fiscal deficit of states through proving a greater fiscal space to the states as well, and wherein the revised estimate shows 4.6% and the budgeted estimate is 3.7% as well. So there will be enhanced outlay to schemes for financial assistance to the states for capital investment. At the same time, allowing the states to fiscal deficit to bring down to 4% of gross state domestic product GSDP, of which 0.5% will be tied to power sector reforms as well, as we are facing the problem of power crunch. Morning itself that the host college has lost the internet connectivity due to power failure as well. So we should have 24/7 electricity availability. Next is. Next, please. Artificial intelligence and digital university is supposed to be initiated as far as the budgetary speech by Sitaraman Madam is concerned, and the world-class digital university to be created. Next is. Development initiative for Northeastern states. Already, as I said, the funding infrastructure and social development projects amounting rupees 1,500 crores to the Northeastern states as well. Next is. PM Gati Shakti scheme. Next is. Now the question mark is there. See here, I have put an emoji whether India is richer, and I gave you an example of Ambanis and Adanis, those who are competing each other for securing the first position as the richest person in the Asian continent. Herein we have how far the per capita income as far as Indian economy is concerned or France is concerned. That India ka $1,940 US, wherein France is having $38,477 US. Next is. Now, falling investment in agriculture, whether there is really investment is supposed to be done in the agricultural sector. This is not the real budgetary slide which I have brought, but only to understand the statistics I have brought in this particular slide. To understand the falling investment in agricultural sector, there is need to provide proper attention towards agriculture by bringing an investment. Either it is through the, you may take an example of agricultural marketing, agricultural transport, and so on. Next, please. Here we can have the role of agriculture, but I don't want to explain again. The role of agriculture everybody knows, either by creating job opportunities, raw material, industrial growth, contribution to capital formation, and so on as well. Next is some facts about Indian economy. That is, as Indian economy is a mixed economy, and most of our population, the involved in nothing but what the agricultural sector as well, wherein disguised unemployment is seen as well. That is, a person seems to work in the agriculture or farm, but his marginal productivity is said to be zero as well or lower as well. Then we can have the you can take an example of all the way some other fields also, wherein the middle class is bigger than the US middle class. That is some of the statistics of last year. I deliberately brought because the data numbers are always essential to understand the position of the country. Next is now this is kind of the controversial slide which I have brought in front of you. Not controversial, but still it will create question in your mind that unemployment rate at 4-decade high given by National Sample Survey Organization. I already spoken about that. Why the jobless growth is there, why the job opportunities are not there, why unemployment is going high, and what measures to be taken for solving the problem of unemployment. And budget should speak that merely announcing 60 lakhs jobs to be available doesn't mean that all the people will get an employment as well. Next is accelerating growth of MSME sector, that is interlinking Udyam, eShram, NCS, ASEEM portals and so on. Simultaneously, there is the rolling out of RAMP program and raising and accelerating MSME performance with an outlay of 6,000 crores rupees over 5 years. So next please. Submitting date. Now, core schemes get higher funding as well. National Health Mission, that is Jal Jeevan Mission, or National Education Mission, that is new education policy, that is National Education Policy is already started implementing, and we are expecting that higher education should reach to the global level. Specifically, Indian universities and higher education institutions should rank in top 500 QS ranking, and to have ranking in that particular international or global platform, we need to have strong outlay and very strong policies as well. Now, many private universities are showing their showing their potential that they are ranked in the global platform as well, wherein we need to have the other state universities, or you can take an example of all the way higher education institution, HEIs should also show that yes, we are having potential to grow as well, so that we can reduce the number of expenditure which has been done on the foreign the student, those who are going abroad for higher studies as well. Either it is University of Harvard, University of Oxford, Cambridge, London School of Economics, University of London, or Canada. Day before yesterday, one news came that two or three institute or colleges in Canada are going to shut down abruptly. And out of the total number of students, maximum students belongs to the Indian region as well. And obvious, these particular students are going to lose their hard-earned money as well, or they are going to lose their career as well. Next is agriculture. Already I have spoken how far agriculture can get an appropriate platform through the budget by budgetary allocation through MSP minimum. It is a support price which is to be given to the farmers as well. Minimum support price. Next is education, that already it has been discussed about that PM E-Vidya program, one class, one TV channel, and there would be enhancement of 12 TV channels up to 200 TV channels, wherein you can have an easy access of higher education experts as well, or simultaneously their talent and knowledge can be appropriately shared with the students. Next is okay. So most awaited slide has come. That is, thank you very much. So on behalf of my college, that Hyderabad National Collegiate Boards, Srimati Chandibai Himatmal Mansukhani College, I really thankful to the entire organizing team, Principal Dr. Ubale sir and entire organizing team for giving me this opportunity to speak about the union budget as well. Thank you very much, and over to you to organizer.
Thanks a lot, sir. Sir, I would request you to wait for just 5 to 10 minutes. One presenter is remaining.
Sir, actually, I am having an urgent meeting, so I need to leave, sir. So
Okay, sir. Okay.
Questions?
So questions, please. Yeah, Amit. Amit.
Yes, sir.
He left. Sunny का presentation ले लेते हैं.
Presentation ले लो. They don't take questions.
Sunny Shah. Sunny Shah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can present
Yes,
your
sir.
presentation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, all the respected sir and madam. My name is Sanisha and currently I am pursuing my BMS. And I am glad that I am getting this opportunity to present my research paper. My research paper topic is Budget 2022 and 2023 and the infrastructure. The government has proposed to spend 39,44,909 crores in 2022 and 2023. This is an increase over the revised estimate of 2021 and 2022. The government has enhanced the outlay for the capital expenditure sharply by 35.4% from rupees 5.54 crores to rupees 7.5 lakh crores in 2022 and 2023. PM Gati Shakti and PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan are two of the major programs in the infrastructure development. And some of the other programs are as follow: Har Ghar Nal Se Jal, Housing for All, and PM Divine, along with the battery swapping policy. So the PM Gati Shakti, the 7 engines that drive PM Gati Shakti are roads, railway, airport, ports, mass transportation, waterways, and logistic infrastructure. Rupees 20,000 crore will be spent on the expansion of national highway network by 25,000 kilometers as it provides a better interstate connection. And as far as the railway is concerned, on one station, one product concept has been introduced to help the local business and the supply chain. 400 new generation Vande Bharat trains and 100 PM Gati Shakti cargo terminal for multi-modal logistics to be developed during the next 3 years. The scope of PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan will encompass the 7 engines for the economical transformation and logistic efficiency, and national infrastructure pipeline will be aligned. Rupees 60,000 crores allocated to cover 3.8 crores household in 2022 and 2023 are under the scheme of Har Ghar Jal Se Nal. Rupees 48,000 allocated for the completion of 80 lakh houses in 2022 and 2023 under the PM Awas Yojana. New scheme of Prime Minister Development Initiative for Northeast region, PM Divine, launched to fund the infrastructure and the social development projects in the Northeast region. And rupees 1,500 has been allocated under this scheme. And due to the lack of charging stations for the electronic vehicle, the government has proposed a battery swapping policy, which formulates to overcome the space constraints in the urban areas to set up charging stations. So now I want to share my conclusion over this budget. So my conclusion is this budget is mostly on the infrastructure side rather than being on the public side, but the government has a strong point in doing this, which is to attract foreign direct investment, and it also help in ease of doing business, and which I think is a prime aim of PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan. And the battery swapping policy mostly focuses on the charging station of electronic vehicle, which again for help Indian electronic vehicle manufacturer to make more electronic cars and also attract foreign company to set up their production plant in India. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sunny. Thanks for your presentation. Thanks everyone for your presentation. As it is, our guest have not is not able to continue with his attendance. We will not take question answer session. I request Professor Mansi Chobanputra to give vote of thanks. And one more thing, the feedback link is shared on WhatsApp, अपना YouTube as well as on Google Meet. So kindly fill the link. Mansi Miss, please continue with your vote of thanks.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon to one and all present here. It gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks today for this wonderful webinar. Firstly, I would like to thank our key speaker, Dr. Vilas Gaikar, sir, who despite his busy schedule, took out some time to share his knowledge and deep expert opinion on the subject matter. We are really blessed to have a person like him who has deep and thorough knowledge about the subject, sharing his insights and expert opinion today. With all the diagrammatic representations and the graphs, really the budget understanding became a simplified process today. As this topics are not only important for a student, but as a fellow citizen of India. Please accept our deepest gratitude, sir. Further, Principal Dr. Arvind Ubale, sir, Vice Principal and conveyor of this webinar, Dr. G.C. Savga, ma'am, Vice Principal Dr. A.V. Shilke, sir, for your kind guidance and support. I would like to take a moment to thank Dr. Somnath Vibhute, sir, Principal of St. Gonzalo Gracia College, Vasai, and Mrs. Sarika Rawat, ma'am, Principal, Padmashri Bhausaheb Vartak College. Thank you for your valuable time and insights and opinion on today's topic, sir and ma'am. I would also like to thank all of the teaching and non-teaching staffs for making this webinar a success. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the students and the viewers for your sincere participation in the entire program. I hope you all have a nice day ahead. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Miss. Students, don't forget to fill the students as well as teachers. Please fill the feedback form. And I declare that the webinar is over. I hope the event was enjoyed by everyone. Thanks a lot for attending.